All right. Hello, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started. And just so you know, yes, I come on at noon and give kind of like a 2 minute warning, kind of to get everybody on here. So, yes, go ahead and show up, but I'm not going to start talking till I'll tell you at noon. Sometimes I'll tell you at 12:01, we got 1 minute. But once 12:02 hits, we get rolling. So, you don't have to be too concerned about that. Let's go ahead and get started. And first thing I want to go ahead and do is share my screen and jump into this really quick. I'm not going to take as much time as usual because everybody on here has been here before. So, just for those watching the recording, we have a Facebook group that coincides with the meetup. It has the exact same name. It's called I Want to Be Really Rich, and I do not apologize for it. You can go into your own Facebook account, go into search Facebook, type in I want to be really rich, and I do not apologize for it, and you can find us. The other way you can find us is to go directly to facebook.com/groups/, I want to be really rich as one word. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is hop right in. So those that are joining late, oh well. But we're going to hop into where we left off yesterday. We're in the science of getting rich, and we are starting today with the chapter called The Impression. Oops, got out of my screen share accidentally. The Impression of Increase. So here we go. Whether you change your vocation or not, your actions for the present must be those pertaining to the business in which you are now engaged. You can get into the business you want by making constructive use of the business you're already established in by doing your daily work in a certain way, which is obeying the laws. And insofar as your business consists in dealing with other men or women, of course, whether personally or by letter, the key thought of all your efforts must be to convey to their minds the impression of increase. Increase is what all men and women are seeking. It is the urge of the formless intelligence within them seeking fuller expression. The desire for increase is inherent in all nature. It is the fundamental impulse of the universe. All human activities are based on the desire for increase. People are seeking more food, more clothes, better shelter, more luxury, more beauty, more knowledge, more pleasure, increase in something, more life. Every living thing is under the necessity for continuous advancement. Let me repeat that. Every living thing is under this necessity for continuous advancement. Why? Because where increase of life ceases, dissolution and death set in at once. Doesn't mean you die instantly, it means you're going backwards. Okay. And if you stay on that path, ultimately that's where things will end up. And because of this, man instinctively knows this. And so hence, he's forever seeking more. He's wanting to progress. Every man and woman has the desire to become all they can become, to do all they want to do, and to have all they want to have. They want to unfold based upon the desires that they feel. This law of perpetual increase, so perpetual meaning ongoing increase, is set forth by Jesus in the parable of the talents. Only those who gain more retain any. From him who hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And it's not because Jesus goes and rips talents away from us. You haven't used that in a while, I'm going to take it away. No, talents are given to us and we develop them and they become stronger. But if we choose not to use them, they fade away. Okay. It's not Jesus deciding that you're a good or bad person. It's God in the universe deciding if, and they're not even deciding. You're actually the one making the decision to use or not use them. Okay. But by law, you have to use it for it to maintain and increase. If you don't use it, then it will go backwards. The normal desire for increased wealth is not an evil or reprehensible thing. It's simply the desire for more abundant life. It is aspiration. Let me repeat that. The normal desire for increased wealth is not an evil or reprehensible thing. It's simply the desire, which we all have, for more abundant life. What it is its aspiration. And because it is the dippest, because it's the deepest, not the dippest, because it's the deepest instinct of their natures, all men and women are attracted to him or her who can give them more of the means of life. In following the certain way, as described in the foregoing pages, you are getting continuous increase for yourself, and you are giving it to all with whom you deal. You are a creative center from which increase is given off to all. Think about that for a minute. You, every one of you are a creative center from which increase is given off to all. Be sure of this and convey assurance of the fact to every man, woman, and child with whom you come in contact. And it's not just you telling them, you're going to vibrate it. You're going to think it, vibrate it, and they're going to feel it. No matter how small the transaction, even if it only be the selling of a stick of candy to a little child, put into it the thought of increase and make sure that the customer is impressed with the thought. Convey the impression of advancement with everything you do, so that all people shall receive the impression that you are an advancing person and that you advance all who deal with you. Even to the people whom you meet in a social way, without any thought of business, and to whom you do not try to sell anything, give the thought of increase. You can convey this impression, and here's how you do it, by holding the unshakable faith that you, yourself, are in the way of increase. And not like in the way, like you get in the way, but you're following the way of increase. So it's not just you're getting plowed over by increase. You're in the way of it. You are an increasing person. You follow the way of increase. And by letting this faith inspire, fill, and permeate every action, do everything that you do in the firm conviction that you're an advancing personality and that you are giving advancement to everybody. Feel that you're getting rich and that in doing so, you're making others rich and conferring benefits on all. Do not boast or brag of your success or talk about it unnecessarily. True faith is never boastful. Wherever you find a boastful person, you find one who is secretly doubtful and afraid. Simply feel the faith and let it work out in every transaction. Let every act and tone and look express the quiet assurance that you're getting rich, that you are already rich. Words will not be necessary to communicate this feeling to others. They will feel the sense of increase when in your presence and will be attracted to you again. You must so impress others that they will feel that in associating with you, they will get increase for themselves. See that you give them a use value greater than the cash value you're taking from them. Take an honest pride in doing this. Let everybody know it, and you will have no lack of customers. People will go where they are given increase, and the Supreme, which desires increase in all, and which knows all, will move toward you, men and women who've never heard of you. Your business will increase rapidly, and you'll be surprised at the unexpected benefits which will come to you. You'll be able, from day to day, to make larger combinations, secure greater advantages, and go on into a more congenial vocation if you desire to do so. But doing all this, you must never lose sight of your vision of what you want, or your faith and purpose to get what you want. That is actually what is going to put in the mind of other people the impression of increase. When you know that you're getting what you want, then they believe that you know the way to show them how to get what they want. Let me here give you another word of caution in regard to motives. Beware of the insidious temptation to seek for power over other men. Nothing is so pleasant to the unformed or partially developed mind as the exercise of power or dominion over others. The desire to rule for selfish gratification has been the curse of the world. For countless ages, kings and lords have drenched the earth with blood in their battles to extend their dominions. This not to seek more life for all, but to get more power for themselves. Today, the main motive in business and industrial world is the same. Men marshal their armies of dollars and lay waste to the lives and hearts of millions in the same mad scramble for power over others. Commercial kings, like political kings, are inspired by the lust for power. Jesus saw in this desire for mastery the moving impulse of that evil world he sought to overthrow. Read the 23rd chapter of Matthew and see how he pictures the lust of the Pharisees to be called master, to sit in high places, to domineer over others, or to lay burdens on the backs of the less fortunate. And note how he compares this lust for dominion with the brotherly seeking for common good, to which he calls his disciples. Look out for the temptation to seek for authority, to become a master, to be considered as one who is above the common herd, to impress others by lavish display, and so on. The mind that seeks for mastery over others is the competitive mind, and the competitive mind is not the creative one. In order to master your environment and your destiny, it is not at all necessary that you should rule over your fellow men. And indeed, when you fall into the world struggle for high places, you begin to be conquered by fate and environment, and your getting rich becomes a matter of chance and speculation. Beware of the competitive mind. No better statement of the principle of creative action can be formulated than the favorite declaration of the late Golden Rule Jones of Toledo. What I want for myself, I want for everybody. The advancing man or woman, the advancing person. What I've said in the last chapter applies as well to the professional man and the wage earner as it is to the man who is engaged in mercantile business. No matter whether you're a physician, a teacher, or a clergyman, if you can give increase of life to others and make them sensible of the fact, they will be attracted to you and you will get rich. The physician who holds the vision of himself as a great and successful healer and who works toward the complete realization of that vision with faith and purpose, as described in former chapters, will come into such close touch with the source of life that he will be phenomenally successful. Patients will come to him in throngs. No one has a greater opportunity to carry into effect the teaching of this book than the practitioner of medicine. It does not matter which of the various schools he may belong, for the principle of healing is common to all of them and may be reached by all alike. The advancing man in medicine, who holds to a clear mental image of him or herself as successful, and who obeys the laws of faith, purpose, and gratitude, will cure every curable case he undertakes, no matter what remedies he may use. In the field of religion, the world cries out for the clergyman who can teach its hearers the true science of abundant life. He who masters the details of the science of getting rich, together with the allied sciences of being well and of being great, and of winning love, and who teaches these details from the pulpit, will never lack for a congregation. This is the gospel that the world needs. It will give increase of life, and men will hear it gladly and will give liberal support to the person who brings it to them. What is now needed is a demonstration of the science of life from the pulpit. We need preachers who can not only tell us how, but who in their own persons will show us how. We need the preacher who will himself be rich, healthy, great, and beloved to teach us how to attain these things. And when he comes, he will find a numerous and loyal following. The same is true of the teacher who can inspire the children with the faith and purpose of the advancing life. He will never be out of a job. Any teacher who has this faith and purpose can give it to their pupils. He or she cannot help giving it to them if it is part of their own life and practice. What is true of the teacher, preacher, and physician is true of the lawyer, dentist, real estate person, insurance agent, of everybody. The combined mental and personal action I've described is infallible. It cannot fail. Every man and woman who follows these instructions steadily, perseveringly, and to the letter will get rich. The law of increase of life is as mathematically certain in its operation as the law of gravitation. Getting rich is an exact science. The wage earner will find this is true of his case as of any of the others mentioned. Do not feel that you have no chance to get rich because you're working where there's no visible opportunity for advancement, where wages are small and the cost of living high. Form your clear mental vision of what you want, always the start, and begin to act with faith and purpose. Do all the work you can do every day, and do each piece of work in a perfectly successful manner, meaning follow the laws and let God and the universe help you. Put the power of success and the purpose to get rich into everything you do. But do not do this merely with the idea of currying favor with your employer in the hope that he or those above you will see your good work and advance you. It is not likely that they will do so. The man who is merely a good workman, filling his place to the very best of his ability and satisfied with that, is valuable to his employer, and it is not to the employer's interest to promote him. He is worth more where he is. To secure advancement, something more is necessary than to be too large for your place. The person who is certain to advance. The person who is certain to advance is the one who is too big for his place and who has a clear concept of what he wants to be, who knows that he can become what he wants to be, and who is determined to be what he wants to be. Do not try to more than fill your present place with the view to pleasing your employer. Do it with the idea of advancing yourself. Hold the faith and purpose of increase during work hours, after work hours, before work hours. Hold it in such a way that every person who comes in contact with you, whether foreman, fellow workman, or social acquaintance, will feel the power of purpose radiating from you, so that everyone will get the sense of advancement and increase from you. Men will be attracted to you, and if there is no possibility for advancement in your present job, you'll very soon see an opportunity to take another job. There is a power which never fails to present opportunity to the advancing person who is moving in obedience to law. Let me repeat that. There is a power, God in the universe, which never fails to present opportunity to the advancing person who is moving in obedience to law. God cannot help helping you if you act in a certain way. He must do so in order to help himself. There is nothing in your circumstances or in the industrial situation that can keep you down. If you cannot get rich working for the Steel Trust, you can get rich on a 10-acre farm. And obviously, this book was written a long time ago. And if you begin to move in a certain way, following the laws and letting God in the universe help you, and I say letting, you ask and you allow, you ask and you allow. You don't ask and then take over. Ask and take over, you ask and allow. You will certainly escape from the clutches of the Steel Trust and get on to the farm or wherever else you wish to be. If a few thousand of its employees would enter upon the certain way, the Steel Trust would soon be in a bad plight. It would have to give its working people more opportunity or go out of business. Nobody has to work for a trust. The trusts can keep men in so-called hopeless conditions only so long as there are men who are too ignorant to know of the science of getting rich or too intellectually slothful to practice it. Begin this way of thinking and acting, and your faith and purpose will make you quick to see opportunity to better your condition. Such opportunities will speedily come, for the Supreme working in all and working for you will bring them before you. Do not wait for an opportunity to be all that you want to be. When an opportunity to be more than you are now is presented and you feel impelled toward it, take it. It will be the first step toward a greater opportunity. Let me repeat this. Very, very, very important. Do not wait for an opportunity to be all you want to be. When an opportunity to be more than you are now is presented, here's the and. Okay, this is important. And you feel impelled toward it. If you feel inspiration, intuition, revelation, if God and the universe are speaking to you, then do it. Okay? Take it. It will be the first step toward greater opportunity. And that's because God and the universe told you to take it. There is no such thing possible in the universe as a lack of opportunities for the man or woman who is living the advancing life. It is inherent in the constitution of the cosmos that all things shall be for him and work together for his good, and he must certainly get rich if he acts and thinks in the certain way. So that wayjourning men and women study this book with great care and enter with confidence upon the course of action it prescribes. It will not fail. All right. We will be finishing up this book tomorrow. And who is here? Welcome, welcome. Good to see those of you that joined us since we got started. Everybody is a familiar name to me. I recognize every name on here, so I'm not going to go through the spiel of what we need to do now. This is your opportunity to share what you want to share and or ask whatever questions you would like to ask. So this is your time. Just come off mute and ask what you want to ask or share what you want to share. And we'll take you in the order you do it.
I was going to share, this is Paula, that part about what you said in the book about God and the universe. Take it, you emphasize take it. When it's given to you, you take it. Well, I'm cramming, but you get tested along the way to do these, they're annuity, it's Texas annuity courses. So I'm cramming like 5 different sessions to the course to get certified for Texas annuities. So that's going to advance my capabilities and credentialing.
Awesome.
So that got not dumped into my lap. It was it was presented to me in abundance in one day. Here. Yes. So I'm trying to get my ADD to focus on that because it's kind of hard. I'm also having family trouble, but we won't go into that. I mean, I don't need to go into that. It'll work itself out.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, that's good. I'm glad about the me being able to expand my knowledge.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
One thing to recognize and understand that can be helpful is to remember your subconscious won't forget. So all the things that you're putting in when you say cramming, it's going to go in. All right.
Okay.
It will come in. So do it peacefully. Do it joyfully. Joyfully. Yeah. Do it not like, oh my gosh, I gotta, but like, okay, I'm happy to be learning this stuff. There's a purpose for it. My income is going to increase as a result. I'm going to be more serviceable to other people. I will attract more clients. Everything that you could possibly say good about it as before you do it and as you're doing it. And then also say at the end of each study session, I'm so grateful to you, God. You know, I'm so pleased and grateful that what I've gone through today is going to be brought to my memory exactly as I need it, when I need it. And when it's time to take these exams, I will do excellent because you will help bring it to my memory.
Oh, that is wonderful. Very good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. Anybody else? Any comments or questions?
I do like to have a comment.
Okay.
That you were saying about being rich, but actually we underestimate ourselves.
Yep.
Because we already have all the richness we can even think about it. If we think about what God gave to us, each cells of we have in our body, they are perfection over perfection.
Yeah.
So would we trade our eyes for $1 million? No. So we are that is richness, absolute richness. When we trade an arm for $100,000, no. So that's absolutely, we don't really underestimate the gifts that God and our parents give to us. And we should think about the richness in that we already are rich.
Very, very true, Pia. Very true. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you for your teaching. I appreciate that. It
Yeah,
makes
you're
me
welcome.
think.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anybody else?
Hi, Kevin. It's Takira. How are you?
Terrific. How about you?
I'm pretty good, thanks. I'm in this process of opening up my business next month, and I listened to what you said about the advancement and doing the most that you can do in a successful way, which I've been doing really well today. I just got my package for my first aid kit, but I'm having trouble like with the next step. Like, do I start my walls? Do I move furniture? Do I buy a curriculum? Like, I'm getting a little bit, I won't say anxious, but I'm unsure.
Yeah. Well, sounds like you have to do all of those things, right?
Yeah, I do.
Then,
Eventually.
okay. Well, unless you're guided and directed to do something specific, pick one and do it. Then if you're not meant to do it, God will stop you. God will wake you up and have you do the other. Like if you're in the middle of doing something and it's good, but he needs you to stop to do something else, trust that he'll stop you to do it and then pick back up with where you were.
Okay.
So you might be in the middle of doing something and he might say, hey, Takira, chill for a second. I need you to go make a phone call that you weren't even thinking about.
Yeah.
Right.
So I need to be keen to his voice.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to give yourself time, give yourself that opportunity to go, okay, one of the things that I like to say, if I don't have a specific thing, but I want to know what his will is I'm like, thank you for blessing me with clarity of thought and purpose this day and night. I know that as I need it, I'll receive it as far as inspiration, revelation, intuition goes. And so I'm just going to move forward with my day as planned, totally open to receiving whatever you have for me. And if you have a different path for me, I'll follow it. If not, this is what I'm going to do.
Okay, that's outstanding. And another part I have in my concept is that I make over 6 figures. I'm like, because I told you before, my image used to be of what a teacher salary was.
Yeah.
Now I see it as really wealthy, like almost a millionaire, but it's not, but in the logical sense, I'm like, how am I going to do that?
Well, you know what? It might not, it could be your school, but your school would have to be a concept probably. Okay, I don't know because I'm not God. But what God could lead you to do is create some awesome concept with your school that is unique, that will have other people want to help you expand it to other areas. That way you can increase your income. The other thing you could do is cater to a specific group of people and show them how to create their own schools.
That's awesome, because I know how to tell them that.
Yeah. So if there's a lot of families right now that are, especially because of COVID and stuff, that this has really changed for a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
And they don't know what to do. And some want to homeschool, some want to find charter schools, some would just like to put their kids back in school. But there's enough people out there that if they're not going to be your students, you could still help them by teaching them how to teach their own kids or teach another teacher how to teach.
Oh, thank you. So there's a lot of different avenues basically to bring me to the goal.
To bring in multiple sources. And so you can be focused on doing what you love and training these children to become the great people that they are, right? You can help unfold them. They're already great. You can help unfold that. And there are other ways that you can help out. You could create a system of tutoring for a particular subject. that you have other people do the tutoring. You could create a system of mastery for math. You could create, there's so many things, anything that somebody wants to learn, right?
Mhm.
Once we get out of elementary school, typically we go into individualized stuff, especially high school and college, right? You don't pull
Mhm.
everybody together like you typically do when they're younger, because this class is for this purpose, this class is for that purpose, that is for that purpose. Okay, great. Different people want to master different areas, or different people are having challenges with different areas. So
Mhm.
there's so much. I love what it said about the education thing.
Yeah, you saw that. I
You've
noticed.
got the ability that is so wide open that if you became, here's a thought. I'm not saying this is inspired. This is just
Mhm.
this is just a thought. I'm not like, oh, here's what you do. Okay.
Okay.
But if you just became phenomenal at acquiring students and finding talent that could teach those students, and supervising that talent to make sure it goes well, you can get as big as you want to get,
Mhm.
because their job, once you find them, is to make sure they get the fulfillment side, right? Every business in the school's a business.
Mhm.
The difference is with public school, they say if you live in this space, this is where you go to school, unless
Mhm.
you make one of these different choices. But for the most part, schools, private schools, homeschooling, charter
Mhm.
schools, a lot of times, those aren't based upon specific location. They're based on desires and needs and things like that.
Mhm.
And there's always people out there that put out the word that we exist. And then there's always those people that have to actually fulfill on what the school is supposed to do.
Mhm.
Those are two different parts of a business.
Right.
Think about a Walmart, right? There's a whole distribution behind it that you don't see when you walk into Walmart. You see people get in your way with the silly ladders and things and jacks, and they're kind of, stuff's going on and behind the scenes, but
Yeah.
you don't see the two full-size semi trucks that pulled up last night and everything that happened when you weren't there.
Yeah.
You only see what's going on when you're there. And so every school has that too. Why do they have administration and this other stuff going on? So there's
Mhm.
a lot of ways that you can capitalize on the education system and get paid well to do it. But
Okay.
you're going to have to brainstorm a little and have fun with it. But for now, you could very easily start your school up, enjoy what you're doing, get paid even whatever the better average or better than average income is, and
Mhm.
you could still come up with an idea outside of that that will pay you money. I know a real estate, well, I know more than one. I know a real estate investor, he kept teaching for years.
Mhm.
He acquired 200 and something rental properties while he was a school teacher,
Oh, God, I love
because he
that.
learned the skill of doing that. And so he stayed a school teacher. He stayed in
Aw.
school because he liked what he was doing. He stayed it for a long time, but he had a couple hundred rental properties. He was making like 10 times as much money from those properties than he was making off his salary at school. But because the way it was set up, he could do both. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Okay.
So you don't
I'm a.
have to, you still, again, the focus on getting what you want is
Mhm.
fine. And within, again, if you love teaching children,
Mhm.
that's cool too. It may or may not be the source of your millions. Don't worry about
Don't worry about that. I could marry a millionaire.
that. No, 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 no.
That's right. We're not supposed to say that. The power is the
Well,
power.
you could, okay. I
That
would
shouldn't be
I
the
would make
goal.
that the goal.
Okay, that's right.
Right? Because you're trying to make, oh, there's my channel, and being
Mm,
open to all the other channels. It could be, you know,
okay.
it very well could be, but that's not the goal. If it happens to be a millionaire, great. But that's not why you should have the person that you're with
You're right.
necessarily. What if they want you to be the millionaire?
Ah, that's good too. I want to be the
Well,
millionaire.
but what if you both have that same mindset that neither of you will be?
All right. All right. Or if we're both millionaires, or I just
Yeah,
want to be the
well, you'll either both be millionaires and hook up, or you'll both be hoping for the other person to become a millionaire and hook up.
I'll focus on me being a millionaire and attract the way to get that type of money.
That's a
That's
better
what I
way to
think.
do it.
Yeah. Because on my
I'm gonna
website,
be the millionaire.
Oh,
That's
you
what I
sure?
say to Kira. I was just gonna say to Kira, I'm gonna be the millionaire. You're gonna be the millionaire. I'm gonna be the millionaire. Just takes $1 million to be a millionaire.
Yeah, it
That's
does.
all.
Well, and most millionaires I know, once they get there,
They want more.
that it's the
Not all that.
a million's not a lot of money in certain parts of this country or world. Okay.
Yeah, like California, LA.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
Well,
it's
it's good
a
money
different
here.
ballgame. So setting the goal for millionaire, it's okay, right? But
Right.
again, it's always, I always say, set the goal for the life you want to live,
I
Okay.
do.
and let
I
God
have.
provide the amount that's required.
Mhm.
Okay.
I've been writing down, I was gonna tell you, am I interrupting you, Takira? You good?
Yes, thank you.
I think
I
she's good.
forgot, because if I keep forgetting to say this, I've gotten to 200 on my book of 300.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Very good.
Mhm.
Cool. All right.
Congratulations.
Anybody else have any comments or questions? You got anything? Let's see, who do we got here? Arlo,
have
you got
something.
anything?
Yeah. Okay. So what if your visualization is like as a representation of you achieving your goal is like receiving a check for that goal?
Mhm.
Is that not good because then it's like
Sure.
coming from that certain channel?
No. It's okay if it's a representation of receiving, as long as you're open to, like, as long as you don't force the check to come from X employer or X business
Right.
venture. It's just a check that you receive representative of you celebrating receiving what it is you wanted.
Okay, because I visualize it being like voice acting services, but I don't
Sure.
like
Well,
see it coming from
yeah.
like a certain network or Nickelodeon, Disney, whatever.
Right. And you probably, I almost guarantee you already know that story because you just said the voice acting services. You've heard Jim Carrey's story, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was for acting services rendered, and it was $10 million. And then but it wasn't from a particular studio or anything like that. Ultimately, it was Dumb and Dumber, I believe, that got him that one, but that's, yeah, that's fine. What you're doing though is he wasn't seeing himself acting in a given movie, right? Because he had no idea what the movie was going to be. He couldn't
Right.
he couldn't actually pretend that part. He couldn't imagine that part because that part hadn't been decided by God in the universe yet. All he could decide on was what he wanted the end result to be. And that's what we get to decide. We get to decide what we want the end result to be. The challenge most of us have is we also want to decide everything along the way, and that's not how it works. And if we try to go that direction where we try and force and control everything along the way, then one of two things happen. Either one, it will never happen, or two, we will slow it way down because God had 5 other ways to hand it to you, and you said, nope, I want it this way. And it's like, okay, well, it's going to take a while. Not that it takes God, but God's not going to snap his fingers. What God's going to do is touch hearts and minds of other people. And he already knows what's going on in the entire world, and it's all organized. You want to call it organized chaos, right? It looks like chaos to us, but to him, he knows which person or persons are going to be involved in your receiving what you want, but you don't. And if you're trying to
Right.
force it through a given channel, then you aren't going to. He could say, okay, well, you're going to have to wait then until other people line up with the same thing to help you get what you want. So what I recommend you do, my child, is just tell me what you want and don't tell me how to send it to you. If I want to drop it off in a parachute tonight on your doorstep and you don't have to do anything, let me do it.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yidra, anything for you? Yes, no, maybe so. And I forget what the E in Hall means. If it's a guy or a girl, Hall, I assume is the last name. I know I've seen you before. You got anything?
Yeah, it's Everhall. It's
Ever.
just
Okay.
yeah. It's just the E switches over when I switch to. I guess it's different time for certain reasons.
That's okay. That's all right. Okay, cool. Anything you want to add or ask or whatnot before I go?
There's one thing I guess I might could take some advice on is, um, and sometimes I seem like I have a shyness about myself, and
Hmm.
I try to get out of it. I don't know if you can have any suggestions. I mean, I think I kind of grew up like that.
Okay,
Um, worry about what people kind of think sometimes, and
sure.
that's why the chapter that we went over yesterday, in the other book,
Yeah, yeah,
it kind of hit home because I kind of get that uh, there, but I'm not there. I just
yeah, yeah. Okay,
connection sometimes.
sure. Is it so there's a thing too. Some people are quieter than others, okay? That doesn't make one more important than another or whatever. The only time where, if you want to call it shyness, gets in the way is if it's getting in the way of you doing what you want to do. If it's not actually getting in the way of you getting what you want to do and you're content to, be at your pace, so to speak, as far as speaking up or not, then you're fine. It's only if you're going, well, I wish I would have, right? Like, dang, I should have said that, or oh, they asked me and I should have said that, or whatever. So, are you dealing with, I wish I would have, or are you just thinking that you should be different because everybody else is trying to tell you you should be different?
I think it gets in my way.
Okay.
I think I like to be the person. I guess maybe I don't want to say fearless, but to a certain degree, if I was just like if I was going out to a show or something, I seen this nice lady walk by. See me, I would be hesitating. I wouldn't go
Okay.
and just say, "Hey, what's up? How you?" So
Okay.
I miss opportunities, and even when I deal with job things, Aaron's quite a, even when I do with maybe job things, sometimes I'm always holding back. I
Okay.
just can't do.
Okay. Well, it's going to take probably some affirmation and some self talk and to decide so we can act. Now, there's a difference between acting something out versus like being phony, sort of. Um, but this is one of those times I tell everybody you should be who you are. Okay. What you can do though is you can pick out as long as you feel good about it. Don't do it if it's going to make you feel crappy. Okay. You can pick out other people that are examples in your life of how you would want to act and how you would want to respond only if you feel good using them as an example. If looking at them as an example is like they're so much better than me, I feel like dog poop, they're not helpful. But if you look at them as, you know what, someday I would like to be like that. I would like to have that confidence and that peace and that manner about myself. Well, then you can model in your mind, in your imagination. You don't even have to go meet those people. You can, in your imagination, have conversations with them and ask them for advice how to become like they are in their confidence and peace towards, dealing with other people. Did that make any sense?
Yes, makes sense. I think it might be a little confidence I work on too. I mean, I think it might be good enough to take care of things I need to, but I still want to be something I just
Sure.
need to improve on, just add on to it.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I'm actually improving.
Yeah.
As we probably in speaking, I guess all these ideas and all the reading that we've been going over has been improving my mind. I'm probably not there yet, but my percentage is going up mentally. I can sense it, but I'm keeping it
Awesome.
rolling. I'm keeping on the upbeat.
Okay. Okay.
And
Awesome.
I've no, and what
Awesome.
I have noticed is I have started to get along with people and connect with people better. Because I really think during my life I made it known. I think I kind of had issues with people where maybe probably somebody did something to me or something. I closed up, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
getting back out of that now because I'm at the moment of realization. I can kind of see that when I do that. I mean, I'm starting to see the beauty in people more than even before, and that's a good thing when you can kind of sense. You get a sense for people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds good. No, you're making progress. Every one of us naturally wants to speed along faster than we go. So that's common, but we can't let that desire overrun everything that we've been learning, right? I want it to go faster. Okay, but you'll create anxiety that way. So don't be concerned at the speed, but be like you are, be happy with progress. And occasionally when things are right and God's ready, you will have quantum leaps. You'll have aha moments that will change a lot of things dramatically. But for the most part, it's going to be a continuous uphill climb with some plateaus along the way, right? And when you hit a plateau for a little while, you feel like you're not progressing, but you are, just maybe not at a speed that you're hoping for. I can tell you right now, just listening to you and everything, if you walked up and said hi to someone and were genuine and weren't trying to be somebody other than who you are, yeah, I imagine most people are going to sit and listen to you and appreciate the conversation.
Yep, man, that's how it goes. But on the inside is what I'm working on. But yeah, I don't have too much of a problem at all. But yeah,
Awesome.
thank you. And thank you very much.
Very welcome.
Can I share one of my concerns?
Sure. What's up?
I get mired in minutia, and I have a trouble delegating jobs to others.
Uh-huh.
How do I get out of it?
It's a trust issue. Anytime we have trouble delegating to others, we're either not confident enough in the other person, or we're not confident that we've actually shown them the way, and we're not willing to let them try it and let them try and fail, knowing that there's no mess that can be made that you, God, and the universe can't get cleaned up. So if you won't let people do things so that you can expand yourself, you will be limited. You'll be limited to what you can do if you don't allow others to participate in your good.
So how do I start to free myself?
You decide what you want. You decide that you want it to be different. You feel and visualize yourself doing it differently than you're doing it now. You do it with joy, peace, and happiness. You trust God will provide you the right people to help support what you need to do. And you got to be willing to let them do what it is that you want them to do. Now, I don't know if you own a business or what you're doing currently for income. What do you do currently, Pia?
I deal with real estate.
Okay. Do you have regular income coming in, or is it kind of few and far between? What's the deal?
I have income coming in.
Huh?
Yes, I have income coming in.
Income coming in. All right, terrific.
So
So give me an example of something you're having a hard time delegating to other people.
my office work.
Okay, and why is that? Just, I'm not here for judgment. I'm here for listening. Why is that though? In your mind, why?
That's probably trust, or probably because I don't do the work perfectly myself. So I don't know.
Okay.
So
Well, then if you're perfectly, do you do it satisfactorily, or are you not satisfied?
to me, it's not satisfactory because I have so many things to do.
Okay.
So it's not satisfactory to me because I would like to expand more.
Okay. Well, do you know anybody out there, and it will probably cost you some money, but do you know anybody out there that is actually really good at what it is that you don't feel you're good at, that you look up to because they can, that you would either pay them for their advice or for their time, or to set it up for you and train somebody else how to do it?
Not currently.
They exist.
They exist, I'm sure.
I guarantee you they exist. You got to be open to it. You got to be open to being open too. If you're talking, and I don't know if you're talking in terms of, accounting, or if you're talking in filing papers, or what you're talking about specifically, because we're not digging into your business.
All that's inclusive. All that's inclusive in the office work.
Okay, so you need an office manager. You need an office manager that understands the real estate business as an office manager, or that understands something very similar.
And how do I know the qualification that I have to ask?
Well, what are the things they would have to know, right?
Yeah,
They would-
accounting and
they-
filing and responding to needs of tenants.
You know what, who might work is potentially, they're definitely, real estate's actually, you know this, but real estate's actually a slightly busier business than most during COVID. And it'll definitely pick up even more in the near future as things get worked out. But maybe there's somebody that has already worked in, are these rental properties or are you building stuff and flipping stuff? What are you doing?
No renting,
They're all rental properties?
right?
How many roughly?
A few.
Well, I mean, a few, it's different what you hire for a few, 3 or 300.
About 18.
Okay. So you got 18 rental properties that pay you. That's how you live your life right now. And are you the property manager? You have other people doing that?
No, I've been doing it all myself.
Yeah, no wonder you're, I get it. You created a big, you've got probably a pretty decent income, but you've created a job for yourself because you haven't let anybody else run it for you. Or maybe you tried and you didn't like what happened. Is that the
And
case?
it's affecting my life. I like because it keeps what I thought I was born for.
Okay,
Because it propels me forward, but still I feel constrict.
okay. So what, you don't really want somebody to take over so you have freedom. You just want it to be more cleaned up, more streamlined.
Yes.
Okay. Do you interact with other investors that have people that are their transaction coordinators or their office managers or anything like that?
No, because I've been overwhelmed.
Okay. So do you know what Bigger Pockets is?
No.
Bigger Pockets is a website that's online. It's been around a long time. And it's a place where there's a discussion forum, multiple, around topics of real estate investing. That's what it's for. And there are a lot of the people, yeah, there's going to be newbies on there, but there's a lot of people with experience. And I would go start a conversation and say, explain a little bit who you are, be willing to help other people, which you sound like you will. You always give nice comments when, you're asked to, or when you feel something. But I would say, hey, here is my plight right now. I'm a real estate investor. I own 18 properties. Here's kind of the situation. I like staying active, but I really don't feel that I actually have things streamlined. What are some of your ideas on getting streamlined? Or is there somebody who could train me to be streamlined, that could mentor me on that? I already know how to manage and run my properties and whatever. I know I can do a better job. I want to stay involved in this because that is actually what I think my talent is and gives me some joy. But there are things that I know I'm not as good at, and I would like to either become better at it or figure out how to hire that stuff out.
Okay. So I'll go on the computer and find for bigger.
Bigger Pockets.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Yadira, you got anything today or are you good?
No, I'm good, Kevin. Thank you. I don't have any new stuff, but I agree with you on Bigger Pocket. I use that myself, so that's a good resource. I use I can't remember exactly what I use them for, but I think I use them for screening tenants.
Yeah.
So
Well, there's a lot of stuff. I'm not saying buy anything specifically from them. I'm saying the discussion
it's free.
forum's a
It's a
good
free
place to
service.
start. And then,
Mhm.
it's a great resource.
Yeah, it is. I've used it myself, so definitely a good place to go take a look. And I'm not sure who the person that was speaking because I'm trying to do things as I'm listening in. But yeah, it's
That
a
was
good
Pia.
place for you to.
Yeah, that was
Who
Pia.
was
That
it?
was It was Pia asking about real estate.
Pia, okay. Pia, where do you live? Do you mind?
Excuse
telling
me,
us what
Where
state
do
are
you live,
in?
Pia? What
I
state?
live in San Diego area,
Okay.
You in San Diego? Oh, okay. All right.
in San Diego area, yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I see. All right. So you're in Kevin's neighborhood, neck of wood.
My neck of the woods, but I haven't done the real estate stuff here. I was in Arizona when I was doing the real estate stuff. So
Oh, okay.
I know people that I could, make some introductions to, not specifically for what she was saying, but I know that they could lead to someone else, could lead to someone else. I know
Right.
the people that run one of the local real estate investor groups clubs out here. I don't know what they've done since COVID, but I know that they've got they had a big following and a big group at one time. But like I said, I haven't followed that, and it's been a couple years since I've was really putting my feet into real estate. My main focus is this business right now. So,
Right.
and will continue to be. It's where my true gift is. I'm
Right.
good at a lot of the other stuff, but this is what makes me smile the most, helping you guys.
Well, you're doing a great job, Kevin. We appreciate it. We're here all the time listening to you, and we're getting a lot out of your
Thank you.
wisdom. So we really appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
welcome. Appreciate it.
Same here.
I second that.
All right, kids,
Okay.
I will let you go, and I'll see you
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Thank you
And
so
we'll
much.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Thanks,
Bye
Kevin.
bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Take care.